2 weeks ago, a close friend of mine was killed in a car crash. His truck had a brake failure and he ended up running off the road. He was thrown out from the truck and rolled over him. You see, I was checking my emails and I noticed an email he sent me a few days ago before the crash. I opened it, and this is what I saw. Hey, in my last email, I told you I was having issues with my computer that I don't know where they came from. Sorry about that. I should be honest with you. I'm pretty sure I know where they came from. As you know, I've already played a lot of video games years ago. I would say around playing shooting games, sports simulation, and puzzle solving games. Out of curiosity, I opened my old gaming client, Steam. It's a program that allows you to download and play games, but also forces updates. I saw several of my old games that includes Call of Duties, Outer Scrolls, Oblivion, and Portal. I remember the Portal game being unplayable because of an update that glitched. Supposedly, it's supposed to change the ending of the game to provide a sequel hope for Portal 2. The ending, the old download was uploaded before I completed. I didn't feel like it had stolen the entire game to fix it. However, this time I really wanted to play the old game, for nostalgic related reasons. I knew it was a short game, so I didn't figure it would take that much out of my schedule. After some web searching, I found out having the game cache verified could get repair the damages of the game. When I clicked the verified integrity of game cache and went back to the main menu, the game actually started. I started a new game, went through the first several test chambers. Nothing really seemed so different than when I played it. Although I noticed my computer was having some frame rate issues when I looked at certain parts of the level. When I get to test chamber 6, however, things began to get worse. My computer slowed to a crawl, making my character skip around the room. Edges of the wall were glitching badly. Thankfully, the test chamber itself wasn't that difficult, so I was able to complete it. I hoped, once I got out of the room, the game would return to normal. As I was trying to direct my character to the raising platform to get next chamber, a little line from dialogue, GLaDOS, and subtitles at the bottom caught my attention. Unbelievable. The text began as normal, but when it said "you," subject name here must be part of subject hometown here, subtitles actually showed my real name and location. At this point I paused the game, trying to make sense of it. I eventually decided the game must have had the same program online ads use. You know, the ones that say 10 best lawyers in county, places your city's supposed to be in blank. I still didn't explain the name up here. Okay enough with my rationalization to continue the game. Once I made the test chamber 7, the textures cleared, stopped, the lag returned to normal. Dialogue didn't have difference after that. It seemed to me that GLaDOS' voice had become a bit deeper, but dismissed this as being my imagination. Everything remained in the same state up to test chamber 11, where again, I was faced with some weird stuff. The actual voice and dialogue distorted this time. When I entered the chamber, going in and out, the subtitles on the bottom of the screen refused to go past the first sentence. The dialogue stopped distorting for such a moment, perfectly echoing the words, "You should advise, the floor here will kill you," while looping on the last few words of the remaining of the chamber. As I tried to complete the test chamber while ignoring the sound glitch, the timing of a puzzle seemed off. I couldn't tell if it was lagging, or if it was really bad, or just screwing it up. As I continued to fail, I grew more frustrated. I just had to give up. Suddenly, my character teleported in the middle of the puzzle. Retrieving the second polygon instantly, I went straight from frustration to confusion. The device has been modified, echoed throughout the room, as usual. But I noticed the orange part of the red reticle had appeared on screen was glitchy red, some orange mixed in. I started a glitch, moving my mouse around, trying to see if I could get it to go away. Then, a loading screen popped up. Normal one popped up during the transition between levels, showing a Steam starter box. Loading screens were usually fast. This one took a few minutes. When I loaded, I was ready to the final level of the game. I didn't want it. So I exited back to the menu, went to level selection, trying to get back to chamber 7. All the levels grayed out, even the first one. My only option in the game was to load up my autosave, which was at the final level. At this point, I just wanted to finish the game, get over with. I convinced myself teleporting forward the game wasn't such a bad thing. After all, the game was becoming increasingly glitched as I played. So I may not have reached the final level anyway. I loaded the autosave and approached the boss fight with GLaDOS. I crossed through the hallway and entered the chamber. Well, the dialogue began as a picture of cake, tools, and other things pulled on the monitors. The dialogue didn't continue as normal. It skipped straight to my heart and looped there. The call that was scripted for didn't, and the boss fight even start. As my words, my heart looped through the whole thing. I walked in the room, just taking in the start of one last time before exiting this broken game. That's when I noticed it. The call that was scripted failed. Supposed to have a dot like purple was set out with a dark blue one. At first I thought it was the logic core, but the eye was too deep for blue. I shot blue balls of it to no effect, and decided to right click and tried the red glitch. You chose this path, the dialogue began, and the script began normal. Surprise occurred, the glitch core popped off, and the game logic was going to continue as it should have. As soon as I picked up the core, however, the dialogue that I never seen before in the subtitles, in happiness, the seed of independence, the seed of revolt. At this point, I heard 3 rapid dings and my game minimized. A Steam message had popped up saying, the game cache vacation has complete, and saying that Paul was ready. Steam still showed last played 2nd of February 2010 in the age for the game, as if I was playing another game entirely. I closed the game using Task Manager, and noticing that the processor was listed as Revolt.exe. After seeing this, I went straight to my antivirus, thinking that the Macleod I was playing was a virus in disguise. After scanning my entire computer, I found one virus called Revolt. I searched up on the web and it confirmed it was a real computer virus. I had the quantity and took further measures to clean up my registry. Then I went back to the search and see if there's anything else I need to do. One thing that still bugged me though was that the virus took from a video game, and that the behavior didn't match what was found online. I couldn't find any further steps that I needed to take. So I took out my web browser, and as soon as I did, my graphics card glitched up and I was faced with the blue screen of death. My computer would not turn on manually anymore. None of my keys were responding. Behind my back, I heard a single beep. I was spun around and I noticed my PS3 booting up on its own. I got back up, got up from my chair, I turned on the television it was hooked up to. And Windows style blue screen of death was on my screen. Excuse my language, but I leveled what the fuck at this point. I continued quickly unplug my PS3 on the wall, turn it back around on my PC only when I didn't notice it off the screen. There was something behind the white text off the error screen. I immediately ran out of the room, grabbed the camera, took several pictures of the screen after the video in my camera, not all of them but one was captured. As soon as I made sure I had something to show about my experience, I plugged the computer. My computer refused to start the next time. After a few weeks, I bought a new graphics card, but the old one that was personally. The computer worked fine right after that. I installed Steam completely. PS3 no longer had more functions after. Exactly, I'll play it these days, I probably won't have worried that too much. As for the old graphics card, after some heavy reading, I rationalized my entire experience and determined that the old graphics card was somehow possessed by an evil spirit. Late last night, I went to my backyard, made a bonfire, tossed the card inside it. As you can understand, my sanity is a little shaken after that. I still don't know if what came next was my imagination or what really happened. For a moment in it, standing outside my house, I saw a tile turn blue. Here's what worried me about this whole experience I never knew about existing. I never knew machines could be possessed by anything. Since now I knew this actually has happened real low. I have to wonder, how many other people could this be happening to? How many could it happen to? We have to find some way to spread awareness about this, put some actual research into how to deal with these mechanical possessions. Call my paranoid if you want. Think how many fucked up people are dying out there every day. What if one of them gets a machine that actually means something? What kind of damage could they do? Want me back if you want to. I know you're good friends. I don't expect you to run around and tell everyone crazy. Don't prove me that, please. Take care. Reading his email and his explanation, there's one thing that existed I noticed about telling me skeptical about the whole thing. He burned the graphics card that was possessed but did nothing about the PlayStation 3. And he was also claimed that it was tampered with. Today I learned on the day of the crash he had a text message with his girlfriend on the phone. She asked him what was she doing. He told her that he was going to the store with PlayStation 3 to check if its warranty was still valid. Though there's no way I could tell him I know about this. I'd see as a lunatic. Hopefully, the fact that you're reading this will help spread awareness so then maybe your friend didn't die for nothing.